not perfect at the moment to go outside the field.
I think I'd agree with that, if I'm honest.
Wander Retrieve Wanderer, it's very foggy unfortunately, so we're going to stay in the launch field. Staying in the launch field.
It's just like the way it looks like we should be up at like God knows what feet above the clouds.
Yeah, and we could be easily. The trouble is you've got to get back to land, and you know, in the nicest possible way. There's no point being a hero and getting it wrong.
Oh yeah, I'm happy with going down.
Thank you for coming anyway.
So here we're driving onto the Silverstone circuit. We had the privilege of doing the night glow, and you actually do it on a racetrack, which is really exciting. It's great fun to do. Meg glowed the balloon for us, and we were glowing to Bjorn again, so it's Abatrax. Sadly, obviously, I cannot put the actual music that we were glowing to on the vlog, or this will get a copyright strike, which is very annoying because the music was amazing and Meg did a fantastic job doing this particular night glow. I think of all the night glows we've done this season, and we've done quite a few now, this was probably my favourite. So this is looking out over towards the racetrack. We're heading to the medical centre here, which is where we all rendezvous before going into the racetrack. And as you can see, we're following other rigs in front of us. I'm doing this as a voiceover because I've realised in this video that I actually don't speak at all. I don't know if there's more towards the end, but right now there has been nothing. So look, there's an absolutely amazing sunset. The sunset was gorgeous that night. And you can see, yeah, you can see the rigs going in. So we're just driving into where we're meeting everybody. So we're going to park up for a minute. And I think there were 6 of us that night that did the glow. So this is the Friday night. The Saturday night one didn't happen, but I have got some video of it going horribly wrong. So I don't know if this is on this or not, but hopefully it is. I have got some bits on my camera, which occurs to me is not on here, so I'm going to have to get those off my camera at some point. Here we are. This is the medical centre, so we're just parking up at the gates by the medical centre now. Excuse me if you hear me drinking in the background. So I think we sit here for a little while. So I'm going to leave this here for a minute and then I'll come back again. So here we're getting taken on. You can see us going onto the racetrack in a second. There were people jogging around the racetrack. That must be quite a fun thing to do. So this is the weekend of the Silverstone Classic cars. So this is the old ones, all the old race cars, and us balloonists. As you can see, we're driving across the racetrack there, which is kind of a cool thing to do. And then we're going to set up in front of Brooklands. Now this particular night we set up on the opposite side of the grass. The next night we set up in front of Brooklands, so at least some of us do. Those of us that were unfortunate enough not to set up in front of Brooklands ended up with a bit more of an interesting evening, shall we say. But as I said, I think that's coming on, so I'll leave that for now. You can see we're driving on the grass there at the side of the track and heading to set up the balloon for the night glow. It's quite a surreal feeling looking at the racetrack and then you've just driven across it. Yeah, that's Brooklands, that building there. And am I turning around for the sunset? I think I might be. A bit of a sunset there. So here we're setting up. Meg's carrying the tether kit across there then. Ian's sorting out the basket. That is all the crowd that are watching us currently. That is another balloon team. And their balloon is laid out ready. I think they're a bit ahead of us if I remember rightly. I think this was all a bit of a rush and I'm standing there with the camera, so I don't think I was particularly popular at that point. We're getting the balloon out there. This is our smaller balloon. She's called Buxton. There we go, that's her. She's very pretty, multicoloured. That's Meg, who's going to be our glow pilot for the night. And are we starting the glow here, or I think we're just burning to keep the balloons upright for the moment. And then more track there. So that's Meg getting ready. Ian's in the basket with her. She wouldn't do it on her own. And yeah, we're all with us. So that's the other two people with us are Pete and Karen. They are part of our crew. And yeah, it looks like we're starting here. So there's a multicoloured balloon. We're all squares, we're all checks in this line. So the first 3 balloons are a checkered balloon, which if we looked at it, it would probably be better off to stick a couple of the plainer ones between us, but I don't think we were thinking about that when we were setting up. She's going to start the glow, and on stage is Bjorn again, and I wonder if I can put a snippet of what she's glowing to in here. Should we have a go? Could have picked a worse moment to do that, could I, as I walked away from the balloons. So I've walked across the track here. I think I might even be on the track here to get a bit better view of the balloons. That one next to us was having a bit of a rough time of it that night. We're all really stable, but it was just the way the winds were, and some of the balloons were all over the place. I was just checking though as to whether there were other balloon crews across the road and whether I could try risking walking across the tarmac. Right, we'll leave it a minute because it's obviously Waterloo that's playing right now, and it is magical when you're there and you're burning along to the music. And it's just a shame because it's copyright. I can't actually put it on here very well, but we'll have another go in a few minutes and put another little snippet and see whether I get copyrighted again. They look very pretty. There's the other one. Thought there was another one too, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us on that first night. I know one team was supposed to glow, but they didn't get back in time from a flight, and that was the Purple Rain team, who were a lovely team and did actually come and help us and helped tidy away, which was cool. Right, should we have a go for another snippet? I was really surprised if this gets through with that snip, because that was pretty obvious what it was, wasn't it? So I'm going to stop waffling now. As you can see, Meg's burning away there, and I'm going to choose some music of my own and pop it on and leave you watching the balloons having a glow. So I didn't get up for any of the morning slots. COVID fatigue is really hitting me hard at the moment, so the mornings are not happening. So this was our morning flight on the Sunday morning, I think. And the red, white and blue balloon, which you can see at the very bottom of the screen. So if you can see the AC white van, the white truck that's got AC written on the side of it, and then just above it there's a balloon with a red and blue striped top and bottom and a white middle. That is one of our balloons. She's called Wanderer, and she hasn't been out for quite a while. And we're now on to the next clip. So here Meg wanted to go and visit Stowe House. And it's just around the corner from us, and Ian and I are National Trust members, so we thought, well, why not? It was a blisteringly hot day, absolutely blisteringly hot. It was a bit like, really? Do we really want to go do this today? But Meg really wanted to go, so we decided to have a trip round Stowe. So I'm going to leave you here, and this is the drive up towards the house. And I'm going to put some lovely music on and leave you with all the scenery. You can clearly see the crack in our windscreen there, though. So apologies for that. It is now been fixed. We do no longer have a crack in the windscreen, but it certainly made recording interesting, because I was trying to miss the dirt up on one side and the crack down on the bottom. And clearly in this shot, I managed to fail on both accounts.
dedicated to something or other. The Venus of the Garden. The building is full of mystery and intrigue during a 1991 excavation, underground chambers were discovered. Their purpose is unknown. That's terrifying.
So this is us driving on again for the next night glow. I think it might have been Saturday night, so I think that might have been the Saturday night flight earlier. Apologies, I think I've got my days mixed up. So we're going over the bridge here over the racetrack. Heading back down to the medical centre again to meet up with the other crews. We were slightly earlier this night because Gabrielle was singing and Ian wanted to see her. So we made our own way over there, which was slightly terrifying because we needed to remember how to get there. And again, there's another beautiful sunset. Whenever we've been to Silverstone, there's always been gorgeous sunsets. So we're driving on to do the night glow. Now, the night glow for us for this particular night was not successful. Where we were, it was not sheltered and we couldn't keep our balloon up. Now, I'm not sure whether I'd actually do video any of the other balloons doing the night glow. There is a possibility I did not. If I have got some, then the balloons that did successfully night glow that night had the building behind them, and that sheltered them from the wind, which meant that they were able to keep their balloons inflated. We were not. It was getting dangerous. It was getting so that we were being blown around so much somebody was going to get hurt, so we dropped our balloon. And I just don't know how much of this I've got recorded, so as I watch this later through, you'll see it. So this is us laying out. As you can see, these crews there are laying out in front of that building. We're not in front of the building at this point. We are on the other side of the racetrack, actually, from a bit of product placement there for Red Bull from Meg. We were teasing her about that because obviously Red Bull race on the track, so bit of product placement there. So what was I saying? Yes, we're setting up on the other side of the track from the night before because it was that bit windier. And well, there's me. Look, there you go. I do appear occasionally on these things. I'm not always just behind the camera. So currently the camera is sitting on the bonnet of our car, which always gives me a little cause for concern because, you know, there is a good chance that the car's going to get jostled around a little bit by the balloon. The crew are setting out the balloon in this shot. And yeah, there we go. There's me. I'm helping pull it out. Meg appears to be just casually leaning on a basket. She's probably chatting over the night glow with Ian. I'm going to go with that. Rather than she's just standing there watching us work. She's not like Meg. She normally gets stuck in, so I'd be surprised if that's what she's doing. Although she's now on her phone. Oh, who knows? Maybe she got an important message. That's our friend from the night before, Poor Rain. And we're putting out our balloon there. That's one of our members of crew. Oh, that's right. That night we had so much crew, we didn't know what to do with ourselves. That's probably why Meg wasn't doing anything. So yeah, we're laying out at the moment. And what was I saying? Yes, camera on front of. Oh, hello. We're going to. No, she changed her mind. So yeah, a camera on bonnet of the car doesn't always work. I think it does fall over at some point, so you get a shot of the sky at some point during all this. But I'm going to put some music on for now and leave you with us setting up. And then once we're inflated, I might just hop on and tell you what went wrong if I've actually got that shot. Okay, so this is where we are inflating. We have got people helping us at this point. And Meg had already decided by this point that she no longer wanted to do the actual inflation, well, not the inflation, the night glow, because other balloons were getting thrown around the sky, and she wasn't particularly comfortable with doing it. So she's very much staying out of the back basket, letting Ian get on with it, and we are trying to get the balloon to stand up here. So I'm not sure where I am. Where am I? Oh, am I in the car? I might be in the car. I might be actually ready to move the car should we need to. Because the car needed moving. So I'm not sure how much more I've got of this, because I'm assuming I removed the camera before I moved the car. There we go. Can you see how the balloon is? So yes, that's one of our crew jumping in to help with some weight in the basket. So you can see how the balloon is thrashing around there. You can see how much Meg is working to try and keep the balloon on the ground. That's me. I've suddenly appeared from somewhere. I don't know where I was. I don't know what I was doing there. I wasn't in shot. I don't know what I was up to. But yeah, you can see it's getting really, really hairy. There are that many people hanging on the basket and you can't get it to stabilise. It's not a good sign. And yeah, at some point we're going to, I think, give up. We have a good go at it. The risk here is when you're hanging on like this is, well, first of all, the first rule is never ever let your feet leave the ground. So if you think you're going to, you let go. And also there's a huge potential for pulled muscles when you're gonna get thrashed around like this. And yeah, Ian gives it a valiant attempt to get this thing inflated. But it was just wind. It was very windy. Was the issue. I think Meg's checking around at that point just to say, you know, who else is still up? Are we the only ones that are having this problem? What's going on? We weren't. We weren't the only ones having this problem. Is this where? Ooh. Okay, nearly went flying at that point. Right, so he's disappearing. Oh, I honestly think my camera's going for a wander. I think we were about to move the car, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm around the front of the balloon at this point. And it's just... Oh, yeah, there's the car lights have come on, so we're definitely moving the car. So that's where the camera has now fallen over and is now pointing upwards. So you can see how much our balloon is just thrashing around in the sky there. And it's basically hitting the other two balloons next door to it. So we're getting whacked from one side and then getting whacked. So you can see the other one's coming into shot as well now. We're just getting whacked from both sides as to the balloons. And I mean, we're doing a fair amount of whacking ourselves, but yeah, you can see the other balloons hitting our balloon at this point too. And it's we're never going to be able to get it stabilised while we're all doing this. Yeah, it's interesting. The camera angle my camera's caught here. So I'm assuming we're not going to see when we all scramble around and so yeah, Ian's still burning at this point, so he's still trying to have a go at getting this thing inflated. I'm assuming we're not going to see us pull the balloon down because it's going to be out of shot, which is a shame. But we were having a ride on the ground at this point. It was pulling us all over the place on the basket. Yeah, and Ian definitely gave it a good go. We are definitely moving around a bit more than those two balloons though. We were a much smaller balloon. I don't know whether that's made a difference. This is Buxton. It's our one of our smaller balloons. It's not our smallest, but it's one of our smaller balloons. She doesn't really fly too much anymore, so we tend to use her to glow, and she's also a very pretty balloon to glow as well. Oh dear, she's not looking good there. Oh, I think maybe we're going down at this point. I haven't seen Ian burn for a little while, so maybe we're trying to deflate her. Well, I hope we are, because that's not looking good if we're not. So I think we're at this point deflating. Right, so I'm going to leave it there with the commentating for the moment. I'll hop back on if anything more exciting happens, but as you can see, I think we are giving up the ghost at this point. So yeah, the next clip I've got, we're deflated, we're down, we've given up the ghost. As you can see, the white balloon next to us has also given up, and there are a few of the balloon on the other side of us had also given up, and then the two on the end were okay because they were in front of the building. I don't know whether I'll show you that in a little while, but I am going to leave this now and probably speed it up a little bit and add some music.